Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about creating a custom GPT on OpenAI. So, like everybody's talking about right now, if AI will take our jobs away or not, but like I'm agree with Judith in this because I think we are not there yet. So instead of living in anxiety, so I think we should leave the hype and try to make AI serve us as sidekicks. Today's topic is actually a sidekick. So I'm trying to show you how you can build your own sidekick because it is right now it is too easy. Like 2 weeks ago, OpenAI launched a new product, Custom GPT, or you can also hear GPTs. It's the same thing. I think this will revolutionize the usage of AI because with Custom GPT, like creating LLM apps or agent-like apps became really, really easy. I think that's how most of the people will be able to use Custom GPT or GPTs. So just you don't need to afraid anything about AI. I know at the beginning it sounds a bit frightening, but like I said, like this new product will revolutionize everything, and you don't need to code anything at all to create simple assistants for yourself. What is custom GPTs? Custom GPTs are small assistants, smart and small assistants. Of course, you can merge different custom GPTs together, or you can use actions, which I will show how you can benefit from that kind of features in custom GPTs. So basically, you can create yourself a smart assistant that you can interact, that you can chat. Yeet and Ahmetcan were talking about creating an like DALI app that you push. You can upload a photo and it will make another photo like this one. Actually, this is the Simpsonize Me. I think these kind of projects are really, really important because uh, especially if you are at the beginning of this journey, like the learning AI, try to create something with generative AI. So I think you should start with something fun, something like you can have fun. So this project, this custom GPT, is one of the like most used custom GPTs right now in the world. So it is a really, really basic, doing a really basic thing like having your photo and create a Simpsons like, generate a Simpsons like photo from your photo. So you can see it is like this guy is cooler than me, so that's why I choose this one. I think this reflects me better. I'm Ozan. I'm the VP of Consulting and Strategy in Zio. I'm working for Zio for 8 years. And like I said, today we will be talking about all about the custom GPTs and how you can build something more advanced than just giving the photo and waiting AI to spit out another photo. This time I will try to show you how you can use GPTs for your SEO work. This is another custom GPT from Brilliant Aleida. So this GPT is evaluating your page content and try to understand the context of your page and ask some questions about quality, about content helpfulness, and evaluate and create a report for you. For example, I gave our generative AI consultancy page, and as you can see, it's a really, really detailed report, I guess. And as you can see, there is a finished analyzing part in the chat, so in the stream. So it means like if you create these kind of things, you can run Python code, you can run different analysis without writing any code. So this is really, really important. So let's start simple and try to create a really simple custom GPT for ourselves. When you go to your ChatGPT interface, there will be a button, Explore button. Then you can click Create GPT. You will face an interface like this. In the left part of the interface screen, there is a chatbot that you can interact, and it will create your custom GPT for yourself actually. That's why I'm saying, like, this is beyond no code. This isn't anything about code actually. You are just interacting with a chatbot using your own language. It doesn't have to be English, but of course, like Yiğit said, English prompts like result better. So that's why I prefer English, write in English always. But by the way, you can always write in your own language, then translate to English by using GPT, Chat GPT, and use it as a prompt. So here you just need to like have an idea, and you just need to write that idea down here and wait for the magic. Here I want to create like my aim is here to create an assistant helping people create book action structured data. It is very simple assistant. It is only about book action structured data. Here I will upload the required documentation from Google's page, and so people can ask anything to that page. It is a basic chat your PDF GPT actually, but the results are really, really great when you compare it with the general knowledge of GPT, because you can always ask the same question to ChatGPT, right? GPT-4 Turbo. But when you use knowledge bases, when you use like PDF or CSV files, some kind of knowledge base, then you will make the AI like act like an more expert in that topic. So here GPT builder asked me for name. Of course I accept the name. The name will be book structurer. From your prompts here, from your instructions, they are not just prompts, from your instructions, from your aim, from your descriptions of app, GPT builder automatically creates a system instruction, system prompt for you here. You don't need to write this, but you can of course improve this, and you should, I guess, I believe, but you don't need to write even this system prompt. You just need to explain what do you want to do with this app. Then GPT builder will write the system prompt for you and create some conversion starters. Here also, like, this is the question, like I will ask the same question with and without the knowledge base. This is without knowledge base. When you ask how do I format author information in book structured data, this is the answer from the custom GPT. But when you add just a simple PDF, look at the results. Much more detailed. So this is why actually it's important. Like we always, like, we were able to do this, like uploading the PDF, especially in Anthropic Int Cloud 2. We were able to upload a PDF and chat with our PDF, but right now we can easily create an app to do that. We don't need to like upload every time we open GPT. Right now we have a specific app for that. So we can create like countless app for specific user. But I think the most important part with custom GPTs, I don't know if you heard about agents. I'm sure some of you heard about like agents, augmented general intelligence, AGI. Like this is where we are going right now. Actually, agents mean like it is a really fascinating example of the mix of human mind and thinking machines actually, because like when you write something to ChatGPT or any kind of LLM, you will get an instant output with some reasoning. But in agents, when you want an output, the reasoning process much more detailed, much more advanced, and it will create a task list to get that result. So for every task, for every point of the task, it can be like it may want use different tools. Like if you want to create a title for your page, for example, you need to go to the SERP, you need to analyze your competitors. Maybe you need to look at to like the if there is an advertisement or if there's any other SERP feature like that. So every task will need another tool, another research process, another API. So agents can do that kind of choices without human touch. That's why actually agents are really important, and the future will be building on agents and AGI. So custom GPT is like OpenAI right now providing a way to create advanced agents for us actually without writing any code, because creating an agent is a really like advanced process. You need to like be you need to have some kind of knowledge like in coding, or you need to understand some libraries like LangChain, or you need to be able to use some low code tools like Retool or Flowize. But right now, custom GPT, it is way more easy. Like I said, you don't need to code, but to create an agent, you should be able to like facilitate some kind of APIs, because every API will be another tool for your agent, for your tasks, and you should be facilitate those APIs for AI usage. So let's try to build one together. I will show you step by step what can you do, what can't you do, and what should you do actually. Today's project is Zio Search Console Analyzer. Basically, our agents can interact with Search Console API and also interact with some mail API, Gmail API. So the aim here is like getting the data from Search Console, preparing some analysis, and email it to our customer or to our like colleague. Just in one screen, without changing tabs, without changing tools, just with writing prompts. Like I already showed how GPT builder will create your system instruction, system prompt. Here, of course, I again like told a lot with GPT builder. It created some kind of like system prompt. Then I started to improve that, but this is a really basic system prompt. Like it is really clear. I just add some more data, and I try to push the AI always ask the site URL, because without the site URL you can't do any analysis in Search Console. And there was a persistent error, which is really like bad error in limitation in custom GPT right now, because if the response is too long, too large, which is almost all the time if you are dealing with like long time frames or big websites, custom GPT tend to stop the whole process. But here I'm telling it to like, instead of stopping the process, divide the process some chunks, execute it, then merge everything together. Sometimes it can do this, sometimes it can't. Like it's not really like persistent on this. This is another limitation, but I will show you how you can like work around, how you can find a workaround from these limitations as well. The fun part starts with actions. Like I'm not uploading any kind of files. These capabilities are important, especially web browsing. A code interpreter is a must for this kind of projects, because if you're going to do some kind of analysis, we need code interpreter. we may want to scrape or like the visit a certain page that resulted from our analysis. DALL-E, I'm not sure if it is necessary, but it's better to keep it. Maybe you want to have some fun, so let's keep it here. For actions, like actions means here, like if you try to, like, you have to use the Search Console API if you want to automate your reporting, right? But here in actions, like this is an LLM app. This is not a like the server, or this is not a like a coder. Like this is not a program we are dealing with right now. So this is a large language model. So we need to explain our API to this language model, and it will choose the right tool, right API according to our analysis. And this is also important. Please don't skip this one. If you don't untick this, your conversation will be used by like for improving models of OpenAI. So let's continue with actions. So if you click a create new action or edit action from here, you will see this screen. So this is your API explanation screen. Actually, this is not an like a basic API documentation. This is something different but very, very similar. Let's look at it. This is the action type of like explanation of API. This is the real API documentation. For example, here you can see the dimension filter groups. Again, you can see here dimension filter group. Like let's look at the country. You can see the dimension filter group and dimension belongs to these functions, and you can see them here. So basically you are explaining, like I said, you don't need to code, right? You will just interact with GPT builder and it will create an app for you just by using language. This is the same thing. You are just using language and explaining yourself, explaining your API to the large language model so it can understand and choose the right tool when you are doing analysis. So by the way, it is not like I didn't write all by myself, because thanks to the like ChatGPT and this guy Corbin from Web Cafe AI, he created a GPT customizer and JSON action creators. I provided the original documentation of APIs and ask for like the create an open API version, like the action version of that API. So like it basically it works really, really well. Of course, not at the first attempt, but after some iteration, 2 or 3 iterations later, you can get the working final file from this custom GPT. This is another custom GPT app, by the way. So this is the process I took. I just gave the API, search analytics API on Search Console, and it created the whole thing for me. So you should also add privacy policy if you want to make your app reachable. For example, if you want to make your app public, or if you want to share your URL with your friends, then you need to add privacy policy. This is not my concern right now. I'm just doing this project for my own account. So that's why I just write some random URL here. So the authentication part is really important because it requires to go to like Google Studio Console and create an API key. Let me show you how you can do this. Like you need to choose OAuth type, authentication type, because this is what Google uses. So if you go to your Google Cloud account, you need to choose your project, and you will probably, under API and services, you need to find Search Console API and activate it. It is already activated in my console. That's why I'm having this screen, and you can click create credentials, continue to like name your application, choose your application type. This is a web application. Name your application, add JavaScript origins and redirect URIs. This is also important. Then when you click create, you will get client ID and client secret, so which you can use them here. And you can take these URLs as it is, because this is the same, I think, for all Google accounts. This should be also same almost all Google accounts, but this should be changing if you are going to build another Google tool, because this is only about Search Console Webmasters tool. But for example, if you are going to build something on Google Calendar, something about Google Calendar, this scope should change. So let's make some analysis then. Like the first analysis I asked for was could you provide a geographic performance analysis of my site? Of course, never say no. And here you can see the sign in with Google link. Since we completed the OAuth process, we can sign in with our email. Then every time GPT want to make an API call, it will ask your permission, because some info from your chat will be sent to your APIs. So it needs to get your permission to do that. So I'm allowing. Then this is the final result actually. This is my counter geographical analysis from GPT Assistant, with all the table and some brief comments about the table. Let's do another one. This time I ask for what are the top performing keywords on my site from 1 August to 13 September. Please use table, because if you like, you can add these kind of things to your system prompt. But if you are trying to build something, you should think like keeping these kind of instructions in the context, in the prompt, not in the system prompt, in the user prompt, because you never know what you will face with. So when you are certain about the format, then you can add some of your user prompts into system prompts. After that, you can expect every data will be displayed as table. So there's another like HTTP API calls here, and it gave me the top performing keywords. The other one is, the next one is like I asked for a comparison report, like a detailed report with some action items. Here the API calls, and this is the really neat, really clear report. And this time, we were talking about agents, right? I want to send this report to my colleague and I want to create a draft in my inbox to be sent to my colleague. To do that, I'm just writing this prompt. I want to send the last report to sg@zio.org, create a draft email in my account for my review, write a proper mail subject. I'm not writing the subject. It will write the subject. When creating the mail body, use HTML markup. Like, this is what agents can do actually. It understands what I am looking for and choose the right tool for me. Because like when I ask for some kind of analysis from Search Console data, it used the Search Console API, right? But right now, when I say I want to create a draft in my inbox, then it choose the other tool, the right tool, which triggers Zapier action to create draft email in my inbox. when we allow this one, and since we use the HTML markup, so that clear report is all here. So I think this is really important because like possibilities are endless here. This is a really basic application of 2 or 3 different APIs working together, communicating with each other. But you can add like so many things to with this thinking to automate all of your work. So don't hesitate to make things complicated because, like I said, my system prompt was really simple. The analysis here was really simple. When you try to create more advanced analysis, you will see the custom GPT will crash a lot, but then will like spit out some errors. Then you need to like solve those errors. This is how you can learn about how AI works actually. So this is also important. Always make things complicated, but start small, start simple, but don't hesitate to make things complicated. Try to add some another capability and monitor the results. For example, here, this tool is Typing Mind, by the way. This is a brilliant tool to manage your prompts, and you can also use different models like GPT-4, or you can even use your Azure model in Typing Mind. Here, like very simple. Do you know what is Google Search Console? I'm trying to find out if with its general knowledge, if GPT-4 Turbo knows about Google Search Console and what kind of ideas it can give me. Like it knows about Search Console, of course. And the second question was, please give detailed information about search performance analysis model. Let me open the whole conversation for you. This is the whole conversation. So like my aim is here.
Ozan, we cannot see the your screen of the conversation. Only
Okay.
the presentation.
Share this tab instead. How is it now?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay. Then this is the whole conversation. So my aim is here to get this output actually. Like I'm trying to find out what kind of analysis I can actually GPT assistant, like custom GPT, can make. So I'm asking ChatGPT, what kind of analysis can you make with Search Console data? Then try to build my system prompt on this actually. So it gave me some ideas. I thought that there isn't anything about keyword cannibalization, which like I always use Search Console to do such an analysis. Then like I also like mentioned about keyword cannibalization. It says yes, of course we can do it with Search Console data. Then we create a list that can be made by analysis. It can be made by Search Console data. Then I ask for some like simple explanations for these analysis and ask for some more analysis, then create a final list. Then sometimes you need to, be really polite with the GPT because you never know when robots will, conquer us. And here I try to create a step-by-step plan for each analysis because I will use this in my system prompt, and I want to explain as much as I can that how LLM can execute this analysis. And I'm doing this by communicating with LLM, of course. Here it gave me some ideas, some step-by-step instructions for every part of every analysis. So let me go back to my slides. Ahmed, please tell me if you can't see my slides. If you can see, you don't need to.
We can see.
Okay, okay. So let's continue with analysis, actually, because we made things a little bit complicated. We changed our system prompt, some more capabilities by changing the prompt, system prompt, and some like step-by-step instructions. Like when we ask for keyword cannibalization, it again gave some really good examples of keyword cannibalization here, and it also recommends some like actions. What can we do, like using canonicals or content and target review, content and targeting. So another analysis can be search features impact, because in the search console data you can also gather the search feature, search appearance report. So again, I wanted to I asked for some kind of search features impact review, search features impact report from GPT. It's prepared this report. This is, again, it's of course not the best report. Like you might probably, maybe you don't want to use it like right away, but like this is the thing about building something on LLM. You need to iterate every time, and then you will be able to get the almost perfect results, almost humanized result, especially for like tasks like this, like the data analysis. Like I said, there are some limitations, but there are also other solutions, like other workarounds. And these are my favorite sidekicks, by the way. Trend analysis, but when you want to make a trend analysis with Custom GPT, do you remember the persistent error I mentioned when I was talking about the system prompt? Like the response is too large, something like that. So let's say you are trying to analyze last 12 months. So when it tries to get the data for last 12 months, like it requires to get the data for every day. So it says it's too large to like analyze that. So that's why actually that kind of analysis, I think it is not possible right now in Custom GPT. But you can always use Assistant API. It is another world. I think like it is the same thing with Custom GPTs, but with Assistant AIs, you can also use different libraries from JavaScript or from Python. So you can create different functions with different capabilities, with different APIs. Here, it's a little bit limited, especially when it comes to computing power or analyzing like the data. But if you create Assistant Custom GPTs with Assistant API, then it will not be a problem for you, because you will be able to like process the API response, get the API response, process it, format it, then send it to LLM. But here, LLM is directly trying to interact with the response, which is not always possible. So here, what I did actually, I already told like 10 or 15 different analysis type in my system prompt, right? Because we changed our system prompt. Right now, it knows how it can do the trend analysis like I do. Because of course, I can say, let's do the trend analysis in code interpreter or in GPT-4 in general knowledge without creating custom GPT. But here it knows how I do that, how I do this kind of analysis. And here I am sharing the yearly data. I got this data from Search Analytics for Sheets. So I just exported the data to Excel and upload here and ask for the analysis. And it gives me this. It is same for the CTR optimization. I gave the like page data first. Let's start from here. I gave the page data first and ask for like find out what are the top pages, like the rank in the first page but have a lower CTR than average CTR. Then I asked for a downloadable CSV. I got its CSV evaluated by myself, not with LLM. Then give another file from, again, Search Analytics for sheets, and then ask for another analysis. And I will continue. And this was the result, and which is really great. I guess like it took me like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do this analysis, and it gave me almost everything about low CTR keywords. You can even add more capabilities, like I said here, because if there is a low CTR problem, maybe the title isn't right, isn't engaging enough for your customers, or maybe there is a SERP feature there, like for example, like the cleaning company, the position is really, really nice, but the CTR is really low. Probably there is a map on the top of the results, so it can be the cause reason. So you can add different capabilities, like you can scrape your title for given page and send the title to LLM with this query and say, look, this title is like positioning well right now, but my cleaning company keyword, which has a great impression, like has a really low CTR. Let's try to optimize this title with using cleaning company keyword. So you can send it to LLM and take back to a full title for your use. This can be another API call, so this can be another agent actually. So you can do SERP analysis, like I said. If there is a low CTR, it is a big possibility that there is something on the top of the SERP. So you can scrape the SERP. You can create custom Google Search API. You can use custom Google Search API. You can use any kind of SERP extractor. You can use APIs like WOPS, rank trackers like WOPS. And competitor analysis, again, you may want to, especially when you are about to create a content or improving content, you might want to see what your competitors are doing right now. So you can add another API, like scraping the SERP results, then visit the certain links on that result page and scrape the content. You can send the scraped content to LLM to evaluate it or to compare it with your content. So you can get some instant insights from LLM again. I have another bonus for you. I will share the link for this one. I built a really, really simple, really small tool. This is a review analyzer. You can upload your product reviews, like especially for e-commerce. It is really important to, understand your users' reviews. So you can upload your user reviews and then like just talk with them, try to get some insight. It will create some criterias just for your product by using the reviews you will upload it. Let me show you here. Like you will upload the reviews. You can just reviews, and it will ask for product name, product URL, and product category. Then visit your product page to understand the context of your content of your product. Then come up with 5 criteria that can be important for users to evaluate a product in that category. Then it will give insights according to these criteria, so you can just review those insights and understand if anything goes wrong with your product, or in where your product excels or do worse. So this was all from me. Thank you for listening. And I hope you will get your hands dirty by just try to create applications in Custom GPT.
Thank you, Ozan, for your details, examples.
Yeah, no worries.
Our other speakers like Fred and Heather, like also asking your presentation, and it will be online on YouTube, so everybody can see and watch Ozan's presentation on there. So thank you again, but our time is up, so there is no time for the Q&As. If you have some questions, you can type on YouTube channel and also Ozan's LinkedIn.
Okay. Thank you, Ahmetcan, and thanks everybody for listening.
Thank you, Ozan.
Have a good rest of the sessions. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.